All right. Thank you, Music Posse, for the lead-in to today's live stream episode of Solar Powered Living. My name is Bill. For those of you watching, listening, and tuning in for the first time, and for those of you who have joined me virtually or in person in previous episodes, welcome back. In today's episode of Solar Powered Living, I have the pleasure, I've got the honor of welcoming my guest, James, who's going to really dive into some of the details as to how our respective organizations is delivering a solution that some of you, maybe all of you, can benefit from. And by the way, it's some of you, all of you, where if you are at the cusp of thinking, you know what, I see enough of my neighbors adopting, implementing solar solutions onto their property, that's something I want to investigate. That might be you, right? That might be you. And you want to understand, how can this help me as part of my next step, my next chapter, as far as home ownership? So with all of that said, let me welcome my guest, James Byrd, into today's live stream conversation. Hello, James. How are you?
I'm good, Bill. Thanks for having me today.
You're very welcome. Thank you for time blocking some of your time to share with me and our social friends and audience. So as you heard me share with a lead-in, why solar matters right now for some of our audience members who are thinking about their first chapter, their next chapter, or their last chapter of home ownership. Before we get into that, James, why don't you lead off with a quick introduction about yourself and your company who's partnering with mine?
Yeah. Thanks for the introduction, Bill. I'm here representing 𝙎𝙤𝙧, a great company that has partnered with you and Premier Mortgage Resources to bring solar and energy integrated mortgages to borrowers and to the American homeowners, some of you who may be tuning into this call. And my background comes from years of the solar construction space over the past 3 years, diving deep into the mortgage industry. And it has been a great experience with 𝙎𝙤𝙧, a real student of the industry, Bill, that you know so well. There is rabbit holes galore, and the one that we're excited to talk about today is the partnership we have with you and our solar powered down payment assistance program.
All right. So what I think I know, James, is from your organization, you guys are the experts from start to finish, which is delivering the right solar solution on a real estate property. And it's obvious, right? It's obvious for the people who are kind of itching, scratching their head, thinking like, hey, yeah, I'm kind of on that path, and I understand a big picture of the benefits, which is, energy savings, being sustainable, and kind of creating my own atmosphere where my cost of home ownership, one cost obviously is the cost of utility usage, is within my control. So that we know is an obvious outcome. But talk to us about why, from your experience, why have you partnered with Premier so that together we add more to that outcome?
Yeah, absolutely. Partnering with Premier and integrating a solar purchase into the mortgage goes beyond the great value proposition that already is there of reducing utility bill savings by purchasing solar. By integrating it into the mortgage transaction, whether that's a purchase, whether that's a refi, that allows the ability to leverage funds to help that borrower cover the cost of the mortgage transaction, whether that's a down payment, closing costs, even a rate buy down. And I know rates are on people's minds, as in the sixes and the sevens. Having the ability to reduce that rate can just continue to increase the affordability of home ownership. So going beyond the monthly utility bills, which is definitely a value proposition, but going into that mortgage payment and getting to that home attainability, how can solar help the American public own more homes?
Spot on. So what I think I'm hearing is I'm going to position myself in the shoes of a property virgin. I don't own a home today. I want to. That's within my radar. What I think I heard you just drop is this solution from our CASA and Premier Mortgage Resources allow me to step right into the journey of home ownership, where sometimes the big hurdle of the downstroke, my initial equity, that problem is kind of solved for me.
Yeah, absolutely. That was me and my wife for many years. We've got our young kids. Life costs money. And so being able to have that downstroke, those funds to put down for a down payment, Arcasa's energy integrated mortgage solution can provide that down payment assistance for those borrowers to take them off the fence and say, I'm ready to move forward with a transaction.
Yeah, yeah. And so, in a way, if I may ask you to go back to your own personal journey when you started your first chapter of home ownership, it helped you, right, get out of the mindset of, hey, renting is flexible, renting is easy, but long term, it doesn't sustain what you need to accomplish as far as your life goals and as far as your path to wealth, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. My wife and I, we had the traditional American dream. While renting was great and allowed flexibility for moving across the country and pursuing jobs, we were ready to put down roots, and having that downstroke, like you said, Bill, that comes with intention and purpose of saving and being able to fast forward that timeline to say, hey, there's a mortgage product out here from people like yourself and Premier Mortgage Resources that can fast forward that timeline and have you looking at home ownership sooner. That's just a breath of fresh air for the American public who is trying to look for homes to own, and we're a big proponent of that home ownership and ownership in general. It's the home, it's the solar system installed afterwards.
And am I correct, James, as far as leveraging the incentives of going down this path? Not only am I, back to the storyboard, not only am I benefiting from the incentives, using those incentives, as my downstroke, my down payment. I could maybe use it not just for that. I could use a combination, a fraction of it for my down payment, and or leveraging it to buy down to a lower rate to drive even a bigger affordability outcome for myself, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Those are the options we provide in the program. And having a borrower connect with an expert like yourself to walk them through the options available to build them the right financial picture for that transaction. We provide the support, and you provide the expertise to get them to a financial picture that makes the most sense and makes them so excited to move forward.
Okay. So as part of our storyboard, you've persuaded me. I'm all in. My next question is, so not only am I then being able to own my first home or my second one, right? But do I also own the actual solar solution on the real estate property?
That's a great question. And the answer is yes. It is real property owned outright by the homeowner. And it's the responsibility of our CASA to fulfill and provide a seamless installation experience after they move in to the new home. So once the keys are handed over, we get to work to providing that solar system that the homeowners own outright.
Perfect. Let's now shift gears and talk about someone that may already own their home. They don't have a solar solution on their real estate property, but with how things are changing, the cost of utility going up, they're at least, they made the mental shift that yes, I need to consider this. How does this solution help them?
Yeah, great question. So if we have a homeowner who is looking for a solar solution to reduce those utility bills, we can offer that outside of or inside a mortgage transaction. There's benefits to both. With a refinance, if that is something that the homeowner is interested in doing, we can build in that solar solution to reduce utility bills and then look at maybe there is an opportunity to drive down that new rate so they can just continue to increase the affordability of the home that they love.
Okay. All right. And this is all about owning the solar solution as opposed to leasing it, correct?
Exactly. Yeah. Arcasa and no one else will own the power produced by the system, the equipment, anything like that. It is all the owned system of the borrower.
All right. Perfect. As we have shared some of this information with you, and that's all of you who are, thinking about, yes, I need to adopt solar as part of my home ownership next chapter, whether it's your first, second, or forever home. If you are looking for additional information, let me share with you what the solution looks like and what we have coined it together, our respective companies. We've called it PMR and Arcasa's Solar Boost solution. It is where, yes, you will be adopting a solar solution on your real estate property. You will benefit from ownership of it, and you will benefit from leveraging and applying the incentives of doing this in the ways that get you into perhaps your first home, maybe reducing the rate, the cost of ownership spread over a longer window of time. So as we wrap up today's live stream episode of Solar Power Living, in case you're wondering, what's your next step? It's really simple. All you need to do is scan the QR code that you see here, and James and I will gladly have an in-depth conversation with you, consult you as to what your next steps are so that you can realize the benefits of owning solar in your home ownership journey. And they include all of these benefits here. So let me now ask my music posse to play us out. James, thank you for joining me as a guest today. For all of you social friends, our joint audience, we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.